What if the feeling of safety is actually the most dangerous feeling of all? We spend a lot of time trying to make things comfortable. We arrange our days to avoid friction or anything unexpected. But sometimes this pursuit doesn't really build a shelter, it builds a cage. The bars are routine. The lock is just our habit of avoiding discomfort. The walls, well, they're made from all those small choices we make every day, like the decision to scroll instead of read, or to agree instead of asking a question, or to just consume instead of create. Each of these is like a thin wire. Alone, each wire is weak, but together they form something that's hard to break. The comfort zone doesn't really announce itself. It just quietly closes in until the world outside starts to feel unfamiliar. We fill our cage with digital noise and quick validation. Sometimes I catch myself scrolling late at night, not even sure what I'm looking for. It's like I'm trying to drown out the quiet, because the quiet makes me wonder if this is really living. The cost isn't obvious. There's no bill, just a slow fading of growth or courage or whatever it is that keeps us moving forward. The danger isn't that comfort will kill us. It's that it might keep us from ever really living. It promises stability, but sometimes it just leads to stagnation. It offers peace, but sometimes it just numbs us. I felt that, just sitting, not really feeling much at all. A lot of people will live and die inside these walls, never realizing they had the key the whole time. The cage is invisible, but what it does to us is real. I'm not sure if there's a perfect answer. The question is, will you notice before it's too late? This isn't really a personal failing. It's just how we're wired. Our brains want things to be easy. They look for shortcuts, always picking the path of least resistance. And honestly, society makes it even easier. Instant gratification, one-click everything. And this idea that comfort means you're doing well. We end up learning to chase comfort, not discipline. Trying to do something different, it feels awkward. So most of the time we just go along. The result is a life where comfort is the default. Doing anything else takes real effort. Most people just drift along. I've caught myself doing it too, like I'll realize I've spent an hour scrolling on my phone without even noticing. Sometimes I wonder if it's really possible to break out of it, or if that's just wishful thinking. The architecture of inertia is subtle. It's there, shaping things, even if we don't always see it. Disciplined people know a law that's rarely talked about. Everything you want is on the other side of something you'd rather avoid. Strength is on the other side of lifting the heavy weight. Knowledge is on the other side of the difficult book. And meaningful relationships, well, they're on the other side of those awkward, honest conversations. Most people see discomfort as a sign to stop. But honestly, resistance is usually the path. Accepting this flips your compass. Discomfort might actually mean you're heading in the right direction. The urge to quit is proof you're facing the right challenge. Resistance isn't blocking the way. It kind of is the way. This isn't about chasing pain, but just noticing that effort and outcome are connected. The oak grows strong by resisting the wind. I guess we do too, in our own way. The law doesn't really care who you are. The path to what matters is always guarded by resistance. I remember once, just sitting in my car, not wanting to go inside to a tough meeting. I almost drove away. Sometimes I still wonder if I made the right call. You can avoid resistance, or you can face it. The choice is yours. Once you accept the law of resistance, your behavior changes. The debate with yourself fades. The question isn't if you'll do the hard thing, but when. Time starts to feel different, more like something you can use, not just pass. Empty moments become chances for effort, not just distractions. Your habits start to shift. Less about comfort, more about purpose. Each choice feels like a small vote for a new identity, someone who does hard things. Action comes first, Identity follows, and then somehow action gets easier. You start to feel like you're steering your own life, not just going along for the ride. Self-respect grows, not from what others say, but from keeping your own promises. I remember one night, sitting in the quiet, realizing I'd actually followed through, just for myself. It wasn't perfect, but it felt real. Maybe that's what matters. This foundation isn't unshakable because it's flawless. It's strong because you built it, one choice at a time. First, invert your instincts. When you notice yourself wanting comfort, try doing the opposite. If you want to sink into the couch, maybe go for a walk instead. If you feel like scrolling, pick up a book. If you want to avoid a conversation, have it. I've noticed sometimes just starting is the hardest part. Use your urge for comfort as a kind of compass. It usually points toward what you're avoiding. Second, embrace deliberate inefficiency. Don't look for shortcuts. Read the book, write by hand, walk instead of drive. It's slower, but it feels different. These small things, they build discipline. Even if you don't notice it right away. I still struggle with this, honestly. Try this. Sit alone for 15 minutes. No phone, no distractions. Don't meditate, just sit. Notice how quickly you want to do something else. That discomfort, that's what the comfort zone hides from you. I still catch myself reaching for my phone, almost without thinking. It's not easy to just sit with it. These principles aren't about adding more to your day. It's more about changing how you approach things. Reintroduce a little friction. Take responsibility, even if it feels awkward. They're simple, but honestly, not easy. It takes a conscious choice, not just another app or trick. I'm not sure there's a perfect way to do this, but maybe, over time, you start to loosen the cage, a little, one wire at a time. These ideas are simple. Most people would probably agree with them. But honestly, understanding isn't the same as doing. Insight is easy to come by. The space between knowing and actually doing, that's where most of us get stuck. The comfort zone can feel like a physical pull, low effort, constant distraction. I've noticed it myself, just zoning out on my phone at night, telling myself I'll get up in a minute. Getting out of that pattern takes real, uncomfortable effort. It's not easy. No one's going to hand you a prize for picking the harder route. Sometimes that feels a bit unfair. The rewards are mostly internal. Things like self-respect, resilience, maybe a bit of growth. The choice is yours. No one's going to push you out of comfort. The gate's unlocked. It always has been, I think. The only real barrier is the story you tell yourself about what you can handle. I still wonder sometimes if I'm making it harder than it needs to be. This isn't really about motivation. Maybe it's just about seeing things clearly. The rest, well, that's up to you. We've explored the cage, the law, and the path. The gap between knowing and doing is where real growth happens. The journey out of comfort isn't a leap, but a series of small, repeated choices. It's a private battle with no applause. This isn't a call to misery, but an invitation to meaning. Trade hollow comfort for earned satisfaction. The door is open, the path is clear, and the choice is yours. What hard thing, right in front of you, have you been avoiding? Sometimes just reaching for the doorknob, despite the hesitation, reminds me that courage is quiet and meaning is found in the small, brave steps we choose to take.